Hi, it's Cara. Welcome to another video. This is my September book haul. I went a little bit overboard in September. One of these are new releases, which explains a lot. Quite a few of these should have been in my August haul. Like, I ordered them in time for that, they just didn't arrive in time. So they're here now. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, Mum. Don't judge me. We're just gonna go through these pretty quickly. First off, we have the Inheritance Trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. I finished the Broken Earth Trilogy July, start of August. So I picked up this as the replacement in the N.K. Jemisin world. This is a bind up of the 3 books in the Inheritance Trilogy plus a novella. So it's the size of my head. I probably won't read all of these at once, but I will read them slowly over the next while, book by book. So this has in the bind up the 100,000 Kingdoms, the Broken Kingdoms, the Kingdom of Gods, and then the Awakened Kingdom, which I believe is a short story. Yeah, it's only like that much, whereas the rest are like a third of each of that. See, that's a short story. I'm really excited to get to these. I don't expect them to be as good as the Broken Earth Trilogy because everyone agrees she's only gotten better the more she writes, but I have heard people read these and love these, so I'm excited. Then we have The Alchemists of Loom by Elise Kova, which is a adult fantasy, I believe. I picked up this on recommendation from Riley Marie because I watched her video reading this. And technically I could get it on audiobook for free, but have you seen what this is like under the cover? Look at that. It's like shiny. It's not like the normal cover material. It's like shiny. And the pages are really thick and luscious, and it's like so nice. I'm so excited to read this. Not sure when I'm going to get to it because I've been kind of prioritizing new releases, and this is technically backlist. But I'm so excited. I believe the whole trilogy is out, and if they all have the same kind of hardcover, your girl knows what she's gonna buy as she finishes each one. I just realized Benjamin of Tomes is on the blocks. Then we have a little novella that only arrived right at the end of the month. This is To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. It's a novella. It's literally tiny, and is a standalone. I believe it's only 135 pages, so I'm hoping to get to it pretty soon. I don't know much about the plot. It says, on the inside, in the future, instead of terraforming planets to sustain human life, explorers of the galaxy transform themselves. So I don't know that much about how this works or the world or anything. It's yellow underneath, which is nice. And I'm really excited to read it. I have read the entire Wayfarers trilogy and loved it. So I think I'm gonna love this. I'm excited. This will probably be read in like the next month or so. This next one I got on recommendation from Chandler at Chandler Ainsley. Is that your surname, Chan? And also from Books and Lala. She was reading it, Chan was reading it because she was reading books that Books and Lala loved, and I love both of you. And so I was 100% inclined to pick up Dig by A.S. King. This would be my first A.S. King. I haven't read anything from her before, but this also appeals to me more than any of the others have. This is about potato farming, but also a look at power and misogyny, racism, all those important things, but in a subtle way, apparently. Oh, and like money imbalances and stuff like that. I'm so excited to read this. A book that I kind of just picked up on a whim because everyone was saying it's a fantasy like unlike anything else they've ever read, possibly because the author started in romance and has shifted across to fantasy. This is Raw by Cora Carmack. I don't really know many of the details about this, but I'm really excited to give it a try. I think it's thunder magic. Do I know much more? Not at all. Do I ever know much about books when I'm holding them for the first time and I haven't read them? Not at all. A new release I was dying to get my hands on and didn't even realize was coming out till like 2 days before it came out. This is The Warrior Moon by Castor Rivera. It's also feels like it's as big as my head. It's huge. It's like almost 700 pages, 650 pages. This is the, I believe, final book in a trilogy. The first one is The Tiger's Daughter. I love this series, but it has some major flaws, which I will briefly list for you in case they're major bombs for you, which I can totally understand if they would be. This is a East Asian Mongolian inspired fantasy. It's like the Mongol era, but in a fantasy setting, and it is not written by an own voices author, I don't believe. I believe she's South American, and I know that a lot of East Asian heritage reviewers have said that some of the discussions in here, specifically, there's a lot of like things that are used to like solidify an historical time period, even though it's not historical, it's fantasy, but are pretty offensive, or can be considered pretty offensive, and I don't think they're necessarily like romanticized and supported, but they're not actively like bombed either. And I know a lot of these people are people who loved the characters and the plot but really struggled with that. So if that's something that bothers you, check out some Own Voices reviews for the East Asian culture, because I think that's definitely a takeaway for this book, for this series. But I want to see it out to the end. I don't know if I'd read any more from this author, but I'm so engrossed in the characters. It's a warrior women in love story, and I'm so obsessed with the characters that I just want to see it through to the end. I personally are very careful that although I think the author's like heavily based these on there's like Japanese, Chinese, Mongolian culture, I take it with a heavy grain of salt because she's not Own Voices. So I'm like, that's a nice nod, but it is a fantasy, so I'm like, it's a fantasy. Is how I assuage my guilt. But I just can't wait to see how this ends for these characters, because I'm so invested in the characters. Just the other day I picked up The Deathless Girls by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, which is a young adult, potentially their young adult debut, because I think Kieran Millwood Hargrave's a middle grade author, but she's coming out with an adult release next year. This is a Bride of Dracula retelling. I am so obsessed with the cover. It's like the most gorgeous cover to come out this year, I swear. It's also sounds beautiful and amazing and mysterious, and it's on my TBR for October because it's spoopy. But literally Bride of Dracula is like all I know, but I'm so ready. Another book I'm hoping to read in October, we have Castor by Elsie Chapman. This is a witchy story. I believe magic comes with a deadly price. This is Chinese fantasy as well, I think. Elsie Chapman is Chinese, I believe. And the sister, I think, has died. And so our main character, Aza, is getting into the magic business because her sister was kind of pulled up in that. I think it's a lot of like gang violence but magic, and I'm so excited for it. I think it's a standalone and it's only like just over 300 pages. Very excited to read this. I believe it's a standalone, but if it's not, I'm excited for the series, and I can't wait to read this. I'm definitely going to try and get to this in October. Another book I'm going to be prioritizing in October is The Treason of Thorns by Laura E. Weymouth. Look how stunning this cover is. This is, I kind of broke my rule on like not buying another book in a series till you've read the first one for this. They aren't a series, they're standalones, but I have another Laura E. Weymouth on my shelf. This has a house that is like magical and alive. That trope, get me. It also has this lovely grey hardback, and I'm honestly so excited for this. Oh, and deckled edges, which I know some people hate, but I personally really enjoy. And it is only 350 pages. so not too long. I believe it's also a standalone. Laura E. Weymouth writes fantasy standalones. I can't wait to read this. The atmosphere just sounds through the roof. The magical houses in An Unkindness of Magicians blew my mind, and if this is anything similar to that, I'm gonna love it. Another book I hope to read in October. I have a lot of new releases I hope to read in October. This is The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. I've read Deceptive and Elusive from Emily Lloyd Jones. I read Elusive recently. I also, another one where I have another standalone book by the same author. I have The Hearts We Sold up there. But I'm gonna read this like ASAP. This is a Grave Diggers, and then there's Fae. It says equal parts classic horror novel and original fairy tale. Or, bitch, that sounds like what I want to be reading. I can't wait for this. I love this cover. It's stunning, and I know I like Emily Lloyd Jones, so I can't wait to read this. Oh, and it's another one with a stunning color under the dust jacket. A couple of books I probably won't read in October that just don't feel like the right vibes. We have Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde. I got this in my LGBTQ+ reads subscription. In the mood at the time when I was talking to them planning what I was going to get, I was really in the mood for contemporaries. So she sent through to me Queens of Geek, which is I think it's a female romance. Or maybe it's a bi romance, I think, maybe, featuring bisexual characters. It's definitely queer. The other reason I was really excited for it is that Jen Wilde is Australian, and she also has a bunch of back catalogues. If I enjoy it, there's lots to check out. So I'm really excited for this, though I probably won't read it quite yet, maybe in a couple of months. Then we have the next book in the 3 Dark Crowns series, and this is 5 Dark Fates by Kendara Blake. This is the final book in the series. I can't wait to read it. It's not quite as floppy as I would have hoped for, but alas, that's fine. I am so excited to finish this. I'll probably finish it in November, read it in November, because this series has always blown my mind. Some people don't love it. I probably don't 5-star many of them, but I have a great time reading them. So can't wait to see how it ends, and also how it ends is like the biggest deal. So this essentially follows 3 sisters who are set out to kill each other. They're triplets, and one of them has to kill the others to ascend to the throne. I'm so emotionally ready. I also bought Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman in this, it's the library editions. It's like the Discworld library editions, but it's not exactly, but it's the same cover artist, etc. I expected this to be cloth like those ones are, but it is not cloth. But alas, it's a hardcover, and I am so excited to read this. I love both Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, so I think I'll really enjoy this, but I admit it's not for everyone. Some people don't like either of them. They're very specific tastes, but I don't know how to explain to you if you like Terry Pratchett or Neil Gaiman. Specifically Neil Gaiman, I think he's more touch and go for people than Terry Pratchett. It is now Amazon Prime series, which I have not watched, but I'll probably read the book first, to be honest. And I have always wanted to read this because I love Terry Pratchett and I love Neil Gaiman, so excited to finally own this. Another book I'm going to be reading in October, we have Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. This is the sequel to City of Ghosts, which is her middle grade series. It's the 2nd book. We follow Cass, whose parents are like TV ghost hunters, but she can actually see ghosts, and I can't wait to read this one. This is obviously set in Paddy, and I can't wait. It's also middle grade, so it'll go by really fast, and it's only like under 300 pages anyway, so with like big text. Another book I'm going to read in October, we have Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maherin. This is a witchy story. We follow, what are the characters' names? It doesn't even say on the back. Like, wow. Oh, Lou, who is a witch, and Reed, who is a witch hunter, and they end up married. I'm excited. I can't wait to read this. It's going to be coming up real soon. I'm so ready. It's also chunky. It's like 500 pages, but I can't wait. The other book that's on my October TBR, which you would have seen if you watched that video, is There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Rose Poole. This is I put it on because it seems atmospheric. I don't know if it's actually spooky, but like, look at that. There's prophets, and I believe someone's fated to either like save or destroy the world. There's 7 prophets, and then they disappeared, and now they foretold an age of darkness and the coming of a new prophet. But we have 5 lives set on a collision course. But like, there's a map in the front. It's this beautiful red under the dust jacket, and honestly, I bought the hardcover because I was so obsessed with the design of it compared to the UK paperback. I couldn't resist buying this hardcover that's just absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to read it. I'm honestly like ridiculously hype, and it is almost 500 pages. Am I emotionally ready? Who knows? And finally, we end this haul with 2 books I have already read. We have The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. This is a portal fantasy that kind of reminds me of The Night Circus in its tone and feel and writing style, and I really enjoyed it. It was like 4.75, 4.85 stars. And then we also have Giddy in the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, which was another 4.75, 4.85 star read for me, and is lesbian necromancers in space. It's a science fantasy, I think they're calling it, and I am so ready already for book 2, which had its cover reveal today from when I'm filming this. I can't wait for book 2. So those are all the books I hold in the month of September. Let me know what you got this month down below. And otherwise, I'll see you soon with another video. If you're hyped for any of these, please share with me because I can't wait to get on the hype train with you. And otherwise, I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!